So Lexus is just fancy pants Toyota, right? Well, let's see how this brand new Lexus ES stacks up against the already great Toyota Camry and find out if that extra cash is even remotely worth it.
We're Edmunds, and we test hundreds of cars each year on the road and at our private track, so you get the most trusted reviews. If you want to know which car, truck, or SUV is the best, then stick with us.
So we love the current Camry. It is our favorite midsize sedan, and we gave it an Edmunds top-rated, highly recommended pick. So the one I have here costs about $37,500. Now, of course, the price that you pay is going to depend on dealers in your area, and we've got all kinds of tools on the site to let you know what you should pay. So we've got links to both cars down below, or you can just hit that QR code. Now, when you're comparing the Toyota to the Lexus, you've got to expect differences in materials, comfort, and tech, right? It's just that, well, the Camry makes it really easy. It's easy to get in, the doors open really wide, and the seats make it so you can just slide right on in. Controls? Really easy. I've got a nice row of physical buttons here for everything that's important that I want easy access to while I'm driving, and then the rest is in the touchscreen. The touchscreen is really straightforward too. Yes, you get standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but if you don't want to be in that ecosystem, everything's really easy. Now, we love that Toyota uses Google Maps, but check this out, you guys. It's a subscription, so just be aware of that. Storage in here is fine. I've got a pretty deep center console. There's this little space right here where I can put like my phone, my keys, my wallet, what have you, and I've even got some pockets in the doors too. The downsides? Well, the instrument cluster is pretty basic, and there is a lot of piano black in here, which we know from our testing scratches up really quickly. It is not gonna look this good for very long. Now, the seats are fine, but there is room for improvement. I mean, yeah, it's super easy to slide on in, but that means that they're not very supportive. They're really flat, and I want them to be just a touch softer. But on the whole, the materials in here feel really good for this price point. I mean, this seat leather is nice and soft. This is a nice soft touch point for my arm. Like, I'm not mad at any of this. So I know that I might not have luxury materials here, but space is luxury. You get a lot more space back here than you would in a sedan that's just one step smaller, like a Corolla or a Honda Civic. And rear legroom is solid, and you've got enough headroom that even your tallest friends are gonna fit. Now, these wide door openings and all this space means that it's pretty easy to get in a rear-facing car seat. But for the adults back here, I've got two USB ports. One is an A and one is a C. Your middle friend might have to be a little skinny in order to fit all the way across, but there isn't too much of a drivetrain hump, so that's pretty awesome. And flip this down, boom, I got some cup holders, although this isn't quite level. I've got a lot of space back here in the trunk, 15.1 cubic feet of space to be precise. Now, I've got a spare tire underneath here as well. It's not a full-size spare, it's just a donut, but it's really great to have. The 12-volt battery is back here, so remember that because it's not gonna be up front. And the rear seats actually do fold flat, but you just release them from here and then you gotta walk around and like pull them flat. So that part's kind of a bummer. And the driving? Well, this is maybe the biggest improvement from the old Camry. This thing drives really well. So the engine and hybrid system here work really well together. So it's very responsive around town, but you also have more than enough power if you really need to pass somebody out on the highway. And it's really smooth too. So sometimes in hybrids, when the vehicle switches back from electric to gas, it's just kind of like herky-jerky, but that is not the case here. And crucially, this car gets really good fuel economy, and you can get it in all-wheel drive if, say, you live up in the mountains and you need a little bit more help. It's really quiet in here as well, although when you give it the beans, I mean, the motor lets you know you're giving it the beans. Toyota makes a lot of driver assist features standard on the Camry, so it's going to keep you nice and centered in the lane, and the adaptive cruise control is very smooth when it comes to acceleration and braking. Now, if you want to pay a little bit of extra money, you can get a traffic jam assist that allows you to take your hands off the wheel at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. It's pretty cool. So it doesn't feel like a luxury car, but the Camry is a pretty nice car to drive. Good tech, lots of space, easy to drive. Who needs luxury? the Lexus ES. Now, you can get this as an EV, but this one right here is a hybrid, and it starts at right around $50,000. But our tester has got all-wheel drive and almost every option, so you're looking at closer to 58 grand. Now, that is a huge premium over the Camry, but you're also getting a lot more car. It's 9 inches longer, 3 inches wider, and 4 inches taller. But the Lexus is going to need more than just size to make up for that big price difference. Case in point, the screen is way bigger, but it is what's behind the screen that really counts. This interface is much snappier and responsive, and the layout is much easier to use as well. I mean, you actually have a home button. This is really similar to what Toyota has put into the RAV4, and we just think that it is a huge improvement. Nothing is more than a couple of taps away. Plus, you get an improved digital assistant that can actually respond in natural language and do in-cabin things like change the climate control. That said, if you don't like this whole iPad on the dash look, you might prefer the Camry's layout. The screen behind the steering wheel is actually pretty cool because you can get a lot of different information. The only problem is that it's a little fiddly to set up. But once you get it the way you like it, you can get the maps on this screen and put them on that screen. So you've got a wireless charging pad up here, as well as 2 USB-C ports, and these are 60-watt ports, and it's powerful enough to charge your laptop or your tablet. I really like that this center console opens up both ways, and guess what? Inside is another USB port. I also need to praise these buttons here on the dash, and yes, despite appearances, these are real buttons. They're just hidden behind a thin layer of material. A lot of times when you see buttons like this, they're just gonna be capacitive and they won't have any kind of feedback, and they're really difficult to use when driving. The ES is the first car that we've ever tested that has these like backlit real buttons just hidden just below the upholstery, so when you press it, you get some feedback. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. Now, we do wish that some of the buttons here on the touchscreen got physical buttons, especially for like the seat heating and ventilation, and especially the drive modes, but that just seems to be what manufacturers are doing these days, so what are we gonna do? Now, the seats in the ES are really comfortable. They're nice and soft, and there's plenty of support for your back and your legs. Unfortunately, you can't get leather in the hybrid like you can in the EV. So all of this happening right here, it's all synthetic, but it feels appropriately premium. And the car actually has a very high seating position, almost like that of an SUV. So not only do you have a really good view of the road, it's pretty easy to get in and out of. However, there is one spot in here, one spot, where the synthetic stuff just doesn't feel very nice. And unfortunately, that is a spot that you're going to be touching a lot. And I am talking about the steering wheel. It just feels completely textureless and artificial, almost like a wetsuit upholstery, like how the Subaru Forester Hybrid feels in our long-term fleet. I mean, it's just, ugh. Even Toyota puts a leather-wrapped steering wheel in the Camry. Now, maybe this is gonna have some kind of durability advantage, but it's gonna be a no from me, dog. Now, here is a case where bigger actually makes things better. I mean, I have a ton of space back here. I'm talking town car, full-size pickup truck, backseat levels of space, way more than what's going on with the Camry. And because this seating position is high and the doors open so wide and I've got all of this legroom, it's so easy to get back here. Now, some of us at Edmunds, including me, had a little bit of a hard time with this door handle at first, but all you do is push it. Like, just push it. It's fine. Just push it. It's a handle. Just push it. Now, Lexus used to have a full-size flagship sedan called the LS that was twice as much as the ES. And we asked them specifically. They said that the ES is not a replacement for the LS. And yet you have way more legroom in this car than you would in the LS. I mean, it is remarkable. It's like I'm in a limo. So back here, you've got your own USB-C ports and air vents, everything that you could possibly want. It is a little bit of a bummer that you don't get the executive seating package in the hybrid like you can in the EV, because that comes with the footrest and the seat goes back and it's got a massage function and it's really, really good. But having said all that, you guys, it is so comfortable back here. I've got a nice plush armrest. These cup holders pop right out. Everything is so soft and luxurious. I just want to take a nap. Oh. The trunk of the Lexus is just a little bit smaller than what we've got going on the Camry, but that doesn't mean that there isn't enough space for all your stuff. I mean, my pal Brian Wong got a golf bag back here like it was no problem, but there are a few key differences. Number one, those rear seats do not fold. All you get is a little tiny pass-through for longer items. So skis, sure. Your trip to IKEA, probably not gonna happen. Also, the 12 volt is in the back, but while in the Camry it's flush with the floor, here it kind of sticks out into the side of the trunk space, so you lose a little bit there as well. This is where the extra money really shines through. We like to say that the ES stands for extra smooth. I mean, okay, not really, but that is exactly the way this vehicle drives. The electric motor is much more powerful than what you've got in the Camry, so it behaves more like an EV. So that means that the gas engine isn't kicking on as much, so you don't hear that noise or feel that vibration as much as you do in the Camry. But even when you do get the engine coming in, it's just completely isolated in the cabin. We got plenty of power here too, and the fuel economy is basically the same as the Camry, at least the one with the larger wheels. And you can get the Lexus in front or all-wheel drive, maybe if you live in a place that's got a little bit of weather and you need some extra traction. And I really like these brakes because they're super smooth and it's very easy to come to a full and complete stop. So remember when I said that the Camry really drives well for a car of that caliber? Well, you guys, the Lexus takes it to a whole another level. I actually feel like I'm driving a six-figure luxury sedan. Everything in this car just feels really isolated. It glides over any kind of bumps and seams in the pavement like it ain't no thing. I love it. Now, I have to give Lexus credit for its driver's aids because as good as they are in the Camry, Lexus debuts a new system here that makes everything feel a lot more human-like and much less abrupt. So that means that it's gonna be confidently centering you in the lane. If you're going around a curve, it's just really nice and gentle. And the adaptive cruise control, it will accelerate and brake just like you would. Plus, it will even change lanes for you just to signal and this thing moves right over. There is one problem that I have with the Lexus though, and that's that it has an integrated dash cam. Now, normally I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Because if there's an incident, I wanna prove that I'm the one that wasn't doing the wrong thing. The problem is that it is so overly sensitive. So unless you like take a corner like a grandma or you've got to accelerate off the line like super light, if you don't do those things, boom, you get a notification. Now, the good news is that you can dial in the sensitivity and you can turn it off if you want to, but like, why would you do that? Why? You got a dash cam. It's cool. Now, if you're looking to jump up from a regular car to a luxury car, of course you're gonna want more. You're gonna want more comfort, more tech, more features, more space, and in that sense, the ES totally delivers. It is a big step up from the Camry, but the question remains, is it enough to justify that big price gap? Now, before we get into the value and verdict of these vehicles, remember if you've got any questions or maybe there is a video that you really want to see, let us know down below in the comments because we read every single one of them. And like I've said before, so does my mom, so you have to be a nice person. Also, if you found value in this video, give us a like and subscribe because it really goes a long way in helping us out with that old YouTube algorithm. Now, that $20,000 price jump is a really big jump to make, but keep in mind that's for these vehicles that I have here right now. If you are willing to go all in on a fully loaded Camry, you're gonna spend about $45,000, and a base ES is just $6,000 more. Plus you get a better warranty, you get 2 years more of roadside assistance, but really it's the things that are not listed in the spec sheet that make the ES worth it. It's more comfortable, it's bigger, it's quieter, it rides better. All of those things make us say that yes, the ES is worth the extra money. But the real verdict here is that both of these cars are very well executed at their respective price points. With an excellent score, the Camry comes in at the very top of its segment, beating cars like the Honda Accord and Hyundai Sonata. And we've got all of the rankings along with ratings and reviews of every single competitor on the site, and we update them all the time. Especially if you're looking lower in the Camry range, a spacious, efficient sedan like this has a lot of value. Now, the ES has a tougher road because it has to compete against cars like the BMW 5 Series and the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, which offer a more premium experience, but at a way more premium price. Still, compared to those cars, the ES comes in with a score of 8.3. Its efficiency and value make this our #1 midsize luxury sedan. The ES is a beautifully done luxury car that is a bargain compared to the BMWs and Mercedes of the world, and a worthwhile step up if you're looking at a nicer Camry and want something more. It's one of our favorite sedans on sale. And as for me, heck, I'm taking the Lexus because your girl's gonna live in luxury. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time right here on Edmunds.